Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Thank you for joining today. Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon. Thank you all for joining this live stream. I would like to take this opportunity. 1 minute. I understand that today is a working day, and thank you for very a lot for joining this session. And I would just like to conduct this session for just 30 minutes. And in this session, I would like to briefly discuss the current state of Java 21 and how to utilize and be a part of this Java 21 journey, which is going to be um, GA'd in the month of September. And also just take a couple of new features and take you through the live code to understand how can we run this live code even though it is not yet released. Currently, Java 21 is in ramp down phase 1. I think you are able to see the screen, and I'm sharing this window. So this is the home page for JDK 21. And in this is the source of truth for all the features, its schedule, and what can we do about it. So from here, you can go to any page and understand the features which it has. So before I start the session, I would just like to let you all know about one thing that already I have a to let the Java community grow and to learn the latest features. I maintain a GitHub repo where I have been sharing the usage and showcasing the latest features of Java 21. So the GitHub repository is very simple. I have been sharing it. So the owner is Engineer Sunit, and then here the repository is Java 21. So this is a simple Java repository where there is no support for Maven or any Gradle because currently they don't have support. They don't support it. It's not GA yet. That's why. And all the files, which are the source files, are available in this directory. So here you can find the unnamed pattern variables feature, string templates, simple hello world, which I published I think day before yesterday, and sequence collections, object hash. That is I think not related to Java 21, but it shows how can we use alternate ways of generating object hash, and generational Z garbage collector. So all these files you can get it here. Today we will be discussing among these all string templates and sequence collections. So first of all, let me help those who don't know or those who are yet to be a part of any JDK release journey, how it happens. So first of all, what we do is that we go to the any user should always any Java developer or any Varzi who wants to learn Java, they should always visit the release homepage. So this is the JDK 21 homepage. It shows that it is currently here. You can see the schedule and you can understand what is the schedule is. So currently we are past 8th of June. So that is past the ramp down phase 1. And ramp down phase 1 to initial release candidate, what do they mean? I think most of the people who are already in their jobs and working in a developer position, they understand that we have some cut downs before the general availability phase. So where we in the ramp down phase 1, they are currently the Java community, the OpenJDK community is looking for fixing P1, P2, P3 bugs, and maybe if P4, P5, if there is a time, which usually doesn't have, people don't have it. In the ramp down phase 2, the focus will be mostly on P1 and P2s, and in initial release candidate only P1s. And these are the features which we have. So one important thing which I wanted to um, showcase here is that these are not just text files or blank like HTML pages which just give us information. They also connect you to the OpenJDK development work as well. So for example, let me show you one example here. So let's suppose today we are going to look into these two features, sequence collections and string templates. So you want to know that what changes were made to deliver this feature. Let's suppose we take the smallest feature, that is sequence collection, which is not a preview. It has already been integrated with JDK21. So it is not a preview one. So you click on this link. So you are navigated to another window. You can see that the status, the important things here are the status integrated and release 21. So this status means that it is already there as a part of the JDK21 code base. From here, what you can do is that you can read about this entire. So one good thing about the JEP page is that you have the ready-made code. It's not almost, it is 99% ready-made, as in like you can quickly take the code snippets from here and use your JDK, your IDE to make this code running with adding some of the boilerplate code. For example, creating a class or creating a main method. Apart from that, you can copy most of the things. So here, after reading the JEP, and if you want to understand, or if you really want to make this code run in your own machine, so you can do one thing. You can check if it is integrated or not. If it is integrated, then I will tell you for later what can be done. If it is not integrated and you really want to know further what is the code change, so there is a issue link here at the bottom. So you can click on this link. It will open a new bug.jdk openjdk page. Here in this page, the same content which you saw in the JEP page is also mentioned here. At the bottom of this page, you will have either some other issue links or some tasks. In this one, you can look for anything which is like a not a bug or some implementation kind of thing. For example, this is a not a bug, so you can click here, and here this is the ticket with which the developer had merged it. So you can go and check this pull request, or you can, if you want to check the commit, you can click on this last link, and you can now will be navigated to a github page where you can see all the code changes which were done or each of these. So you might be familiar with this Java classes, right? Collections. So these are the real files which were in which the code changes were made. So for example, taking the example of array list, which is I think most famous or most used Java class by all the developers. So you can see here that what changes were made. So the most notable are the addition of get first, get last, and add first, add last, and remove first, remove last. So these methods were added here. Total of 6 methods were added, and then you can also understand what was added, what were the review comments. For review comments, what you can do is you can click on the pull request, and you can see this is the pull request. Here you can go through all the review comments made and how this pull request was integrated with the main branch. So all these things you can check, and it is as if like you are making your journey along with the OpenJDK team. You are understanding. So get many questions for example, if they are not yet graduated, they are doing graduation, either engineering or any other graduation or post graduation. They have not started their programming yet, or people who are doing jobs in software industry. So if they ask that if I am not doing something which is related to programming, and I want to make programming, I want to be part of a team which is doing programming and understand from it. So I always give them the suggestion that you can take any one of the active open source projects, for example OpenJDK, and then all these things are available here. So you can be a passive member of the team. You can keep on tracking the home page, go to their pull request, see what they, if you are not familiar with the team members, it's fine. But the thing which we want to extract from here is that the what quality of the, because we all understand the people working here are have dedicated their time for the OpenJDK project. So what they are doing, what kind of comments they are making, and finally what is the code delivery we are doing in the OpenJDK. So here you can see all these things, and you will be really feeling a connection with the Java development kit development. So where you are not a part of the team yet, but you getting all the information, making it they are making it available for you. So this is the example by which I personally use this methodology to dive deep into the code, the review process, the efforts made by different team members in OpenJDK community. The community has many people from various companies, diverse groups, individual contributors as well. So you can go to any JEP page, then go to the issue. From the issue, you can go to the bottom of the page and check which is not a bug. So these are all, I think, bugs. So without the bugs, it should not be a bug. Implementation should be a non-bug. So it is an enhancement. So it's a new feature. In this, you can get the pull request from where you can get the review comments and uh, the the efforts done by different team members. And finally, if you just want to know what code changes were made to deliver this project, you can click on this commit, and the commit you can get the changes for all the files. Similarly, the second thing which we want to discuss today is, let me close this windows. Second thing which we want to discuss is, for example, what happens if it is already, how to know if it is already there in the Java 21 or not, is that the status is integrated. And let's suppose it is integrated and you want to run the code for sequence collections feature. So you can, from the home page only, you can click on the JDK GA/early access builds. So if you click on this link, you will be navigated to the JDK Java net .NET website. Here you can see early ready for use is 2019 and other releases. Early access is also available now for JDK 22 because it has been branched from the main code repository. So now you have JDK 22. This page doesn't have anything now because last I checked, because we don't have any features now for this. We already have a build one for JDK 22. So if you want to try out JDK 22 with, I think, no notable, you have these changes, you can know what changes were made or what issues were addressed in this. If you want to go to JDK 21, which we are interested in now, so you can see it is build number 26. So comparing JDK 22, which is already, we have an early access build. So build number 1 starts today. So people who are thinking why to learn or why to understand JDK 21 today, they will be amazed to know that JDK 22 already has started. So we are, I'm not trying to cliche it by saying we are behind or something, because we are always behind. Even when we sleep and wake up tomorrow, it will be really behind. We will not be knowing many things. So JDK 22 has started, build number 1 has started. So if you download the zip, if you are depending on your OS, you can download the zip or the tar zip file. And so let me compare this with 22 21. So this 26 builds have passed. So you can understand that if the by the date, so if it is June 9th, it means that if let's suppose so it is merged already, so by anything which is merged before this date will be there in this zip. So you download this, unzip it, and put it in your Java home and path variables. In Windows, I'm using Windows, so I'm just talking about giving example of Windows, and then you can start working on it. So a time check, we have already um, crossed the 15 minutes, uh, already talked about Java 21 for 15 minutes. So our next agenda will be, so this is the, I wanted to just showcase last time when we did the audio streaming, that time I was not able to unable to show these things on screen. But this time I wanted to show these things so that people can, I want to see more engagement, more from the Java community at LinkedIn or using my YouTube channel, to so that they can be also be a part of this, and they can really see how easy it is to uh, see the code changes made by the team, or to use this feature at all. So second thing is that we can so I showed you that how can we download the zip file and make it a part of your daily learning. And these builds will be every Thursday, I guess. 9th is, yeah. So every Friday, yeah. Sorry, every Friday there will be one build, and next Friday there will be another build 27. So you can download that if you are interested in the changes made in that build. Now, without further ado, let me take another example of the other feature I was talking about. That is, um, yeah, that is the string templates. It's a preview feature. I will also show during the live code session that what is the difference between a preview feature and a non-preview, as in like the integrated feature. So in a preview feature, you have to give some extra flags. Many times, I myself included, I have found that when we are talking about preview features and non-preview features, most of the time we invest more time in understanding what do they mean and less time, and we are more confused in running those code and getting discouraged by some errors like this is a preview feature, add this flag, add that flag, or some errors which we can't understand because our IDs, when we are working with JDK versions which is going to be released in future, our IDs usually don't support them because our IDs are supporting n minus 1 or the nth release, that is 20, not the 21. So you don't have support for Maven, you don't have support for Gradle, you don't have support, the ID doesn't know about this particular version. So you feel lost. Without people who are dependent much about, who are dependent on IDs in their day-to-day life, they will be lost if they use it as a plain Java, like how we used to use in our graduation or when we were at school. So we used to have a template, a terminal, and we used to run from there. So that is the experience we have to use for Java for the n plus 1 release, that is to 21 now. So taking examples quickly, an example of string templates. So if you want to see the code here, you can click on this issue. It will navigate to a page like this, and then you can go to the end and click on this issue link, and then you will be going here, and you can see the same git pull request and the commit. So in the pull request, you will be able to see the comments, and in the commit, you can see the code changes which were made. So these are the code changes which were made, and you can really appreciate the quality of code and the things which we don't know actually. How a Java developer, you might be using a very limited set of APIs or methods or the way of coding. You can understand even how the OpenJDK team codes. So that is one important and a very crucial and very valuable thing which we can take away from this code review. Now let's proceed. And I just wanted to make sure that everybody who doesn't want to spend more time in writing the code from scratch can leverage the it's not a I'm not saying that it is exhaustive and it is very end to end, or it's having all the types of code snippets, but I just wanted my intention of creating a GitHub repo for Java 21 is just to make sure that what issues I faced, or when in the past that I was struggling for a n plus one release. The struggle part is that to make it running and to type the code which is not cannot be shown by the IDE by the compiler because it doesn't understand that bytecode version. So you can at least have a compiled or already tested code by somebody, and you can build on top of it. So now the next part will be to show you the real code. So let me share the screen for stop the share for the browser and share the ID. Yeah, I hope the people who joined through LinkedIn Live um, and YouTube are able to see the screen. I think YouTube is showing the screen very at the live moment. Let me see if LinkedIn also should be showing it. Okay, so this is the last and the second part of this session is that I wanted to show. So I'm using IntelliJ, and in this I'm showing how I can run Java 21 code for starting with sequence collection. Let me close this. So this is the same Git repo, and here I have tried to mention everything. I tried to mention this all the things which are required for the people. For example, this code is belonging to this JEP. and this is the home page. This is the download. You can download the Java 21 early access build here, and this is the commit which with which this feature was added. So this is sequence collection. In brief, they added the OpenJDK team added a new interface called sequenced collection, which extends collection interface, and they have added a new method here, reversed, which will give you the reversed of the collection, the reversed elements in reverse order in that collection. And they have promoted these methods. These are the six methods: add first, add last, get last, remove last. So these are the six things which they have promoted from the from the deck. So actually you can understand why the reasoning behind it and everything from the jep, which I don't want to shift the screen from. So this is the jep. You can understand why they have done it and what is the many times I get questions in the comments of my post, or from other people who see the YouTube videos at my channel, in the Engineer Sunit channel. So there they ask that they, because by the look of some very simple features, for example, we now currently we have this removal or making the public in the PSVM, like public static void main, the main method with string array arguments. So people ask why do they even need to do this? Because for the people who have worked in this industry or worked with Java from past 10 years or 5 plus years, they will feel very they will not feel the value of it. But the Java is the point here is that we need to understand the from all point of view, from the experience levels of everybody, from a person who is doing his graduation, or maybe the person is at school doing schooling, or they are using it for some projects, college projects or school projects, or any maybe even for teaching purposes, for training and or training purposes as well. So these things are the people give reviews, the people give feedback, and then we feel that if somebody feels that okay, this is really need to will make a impact on the many people, they add it. So these things earlier were not a standard. Now what happened is that the sequence collection interface, which extends collection, is actually extend is basically implemented by all the commit. So I can okay, I would have showed you, but they are being implemented by a list, map. So all these things are they are actually implementing it. So this is a simple program. Let me show you the what this program does. It's basically an array list of uh, three skills. Uh, the skills are starting from the Oracle database, microservice, shell scripting, and I wanted to. So I learned Java, so I wanted to make it is a basically sorted by the skill level. So Oracle database, the most skilled, microservice and shell scripting, the least skilled. I wanted to, if some programmer or some developer knows that this element needs to be at the first, it should be encountered first whenever we are iterating it. They can, instead of adding it to the zeroth element, they can add first and then it will be added to the zeroth element, and all the things will be this will be second, third, and fourth, and I can add it at a Python at the last. So Java will be at the first, and so it's a convenience method. Basically, it's not like we could have done this in a lengthier manner earlier. Now it has become a part of the specification of collections itself. So sequence collection, where the list will now support all these methods out of the box, making it simpler for all the people to do the set the encounter options, encounter orders for the first and the last element. So now if I print this, what will happen is I can use get first and get last. So I will get Java as first and Python as last, and then now I can reverse it using the reverse method, and then I can print the get first and get last, and I can also remove first and remove last. So now you can see that I am using this remove first, remove last, get first, get last, add last, all using a simple list object. And I have not done any. So my code has now simplified because I'm not using a util for doing all this. It has become out of the box implementation. And then let me run this code. So now you can see that I'm not using any Gradle or any third party help from anything, because currently none of the uh, the third parties are supporting this. So let me run this by saying Java sequence collection. One important thing here, let me first of all clear this. Yeah, so one difference you will find is that when you are running sequence collection, we don't have to give anything else. It is just like a normal Java compilation and running. We are not giving any, even though I am running Java 21 here. Let me show you the Java version. It should not be changed. Yeah, so the Java version is Java 21. The build is 26, which I showed the latest build from the early access build, and this is using that build. So this Java 21 build, I can, if I run this sequence collection, no need to give any flag because this is not a preview feature. This is the difference between a preview feature and a non-preview feature. So this is a non-preview feature. It is already integrated. It's a part of Java 21 and Java 21 plus means 22, 23, 24, unless it is deprecated. So if I run this, so you can see that when I added the yeah, so when I added from in the Java to the first and Python to the last. So the Java became the first and Python became the last by using this get first and get last. When I reversed it, Python became the first and Java became the last. And if I, after reversing, if I remove the first and last, then the Python and Java both are removed from the list, and then I'm getting the shell scripting and Oracle database. So this is a simple feature. It basically removes the use of util classes or creating extra boilerplate code, makes them a part of JDK, and then you and the developers can utilize this get first and get last. Now I am going to show you the a bit complicated Java 21 feature, which is a preview feature. So let me first run this code and then I can show you the, let me run this code. Yeah. So I am if I run this code, you will see that I am using enable preview and source 21. So I'm using these two flags. So enable preview is to compile. Since I'm using Java, it's a JDK 11 feature where I can compile and run the code in the same command. So I'm using Java, giving the compile flag enable preview and giving the source 21 to tell that it is sourced from 21. The preview features are from 21 version. And this is I am using Jakarta JSON APIs for JSON parsing and JSON creation. So I am using that in the class path. So that is irrelevant to this demo. So here again, I have given the for the help for somebody who is cloning this repo, they can understand from where it is coming from. So you have this JEP, you have the commit from the OpenJDK team for this feature, and then you have different which the different links I clicked, those are available here. So that, and how to, from which build onwards it is available. So from build 22 onwards, this feature is available from the JDK Java Net. That's a early access build. So this code, let me quickly show you how can we do this, use this feature. So earlier, to know the utility of a feature, we should understand the pain points. So pain points, coming to the pain points, these are directly taken from the JEP document. So if you want to say, if you want to write a mathematical equation, and what it does, you will say x plus y equals x plus y, and then you add lot of pluses in the middle to concatenate. So and also it will, what will do is that x is an int, right? So uh, it will box it to to integer class, and then it will do to string and then plus then y. Same thing happens here, and then you can give out print it out this way. So this is the normal string concatenation with plus operator. It's a hard to read code because this is a simple example, but it's a variable and some string mixed together with different objects. And second thing is string builder. String builder is verbose, means for just writing a simple line as in like this line 10 plus 20 equals 30. You have to do string builder append. So as many times you want to append something, and then through string. So internally, obviously, if you go internally, what how many things it will be doing, that we will understand that it's a too much over engineering or too much verbosity is there to just to do simple task, just to avoid multiple string creation, string object creation. And there are other things as well, like for example string dot format static method, where we can give lots of formatting options, and the whatever what data we are substituting, so that data we can substitute here when give the substitutions in the form of variables here. So you can give say format, and then you can do give all the variables here. So here the issue will be, if we give, it will not check at the compile time how many uh, placeholders are there and how many variables you have passed, and it will give arity and type mismatches, because the decimal or an integer can be given as a string and a character can be given as a integer. So all these things at the runtime you may get an error. So these things are cumbersome. Similarly, it is for the string dot formatted. And message format also, again, some people might have used it for error messages. For error messages we might have used something like this curly braces, zero placeholder, 1 2, and then it is this 0 1 2 are nowhere related to the grammar or to to the English, to the language where we are producing the sentence for. So there we can have, so person who does not understand this sentence can substitute or pass different variables of different types in a wrong way. So that is again a problem. It is not readable as well. It is way too much. It's basically adding some notations with English language. Now comes the string template processor. So string template processor is a bit complicated if I if I want to explain it to the depth, but very usage wise it is very simple. So let me start with the usage rather than going into deep into what it is. So string um, in a in higher level, if you just want to understand what is a string template processor, it's a interface with some methods, and that interface has a parent class which is a template processor, and you get to use a simple notation like this. So string str is a by default given by the jdk. It will be added as a static member of the class automatically by Java 21. So we don't have to create this. So whenever create a class, this str object will be created directly. A reference will be created directly. So here we can say str dot my name is, then the notation is backslash and then curly braces the name. So here the name is nothing but the variable name. So you can, if you name the variables beautifully according to standards, or if you are naming them as per the data that is containing, so that is no, it is not equivalent to this like 0 1 2, or like just giving the data type D or S. It is basically the directly the variable name you can type here, and then you can say this. So I have two variables, name and programming language. So I want to I want to print that my name is and I love programming in Java. So I can say my name is, they give a backslash and then the curly braces, give the variable name here, and I can say I love. So when I print this, this will be printed, my name is and I love programming in Java. Similarly, you can use simple things. For example, you can reuse the same variables to create different strings. So you can have first name, last name. You can give full name, sorted name, or you can play with it. So if you have the variable names, you can create different strings out of it from the string template processor. And embedded strings can also perform arithmetic operations. So if you give x plus y, and x and y I already have defined in the top, so these are integers. So if you say str and give the x and y values, and say x plus y, so this will be printed directly, and it will do the arithmetic operation for you. So 10 plus 20 equals 30. Or the best thing is that you can invoke methods as well. So get message type is a method here which returns proposal. So I have returned a string called proposal. So you have a, so when it runs, it will print this for you. You have a proposal waiting for you. So you can have some methods already and you can refer them from the string template. And you can also use not only this, but you can use the records. So we have a record called access request, which takes date, time, and an IP address. So IP address is a string, so it can, you can use the records fields directly here. So record is the, this is a record, and I am using date, time, and IP address as it's directly the data. I can use it in my string template. I can even to, so that people can use JDK21 and they can refactor their code from using the earlier patterns to this pattern. They can use this. This is the old pattern, like we use the plus operator to concatenate the string literals with some variables, which implicitly will call toString, and then use, we can use we can use this tertiary operators, or we can play with it. Similarly, we can do here, and we can. So this IDE actually does not understand this feature. That's why it is giving different code, a different color for these things. So actually, this is not a, this completely is a string. From here to here, it is completely a string. It is not able to understand this as a, because it is terminating here. So this is a string template. In that template, we have used inside the backslash and curly braces, we can use tertiary operators as well inside the string template as well. So this will give you the same content. The file does not exist, the file does not exist for both of them. So here we don't have to write, we can use the same template and use it to create a string out of the box. And double quotes can be used inside the string template. That is what we wanted to show here, that even though we have tertiary operator and these double quotes are there inside the entire string template, it will not throw a compilation issue. Now comes, let me show you some other things as well, like we can use decrements, increments, and we can use nested notations as well, expressions as well. For example, a string template can have a embedded expression inside a embedded expression. For example, we have this string template which prints Java, Scala, and Groovy. We can print, we can have skill 0 as the first embedded expression in the parent string template, and then we can have another notation inside that. We can again have a string template. So it can be nested. This is one of the feature which I like the most, is the multi-line template expressions. Even though I don't use Java 17 most often, but this is Java 17 is a gift from Java 17, I think 15 onwards, that we have this multi-line text blocks, and we can use them. And let's suppose we have a text block like this where we have a HTML code, or then we can embed the title variable and the text variable directly inside it. It will directly print out this beautiful HTML like this. So with this, we can directly print it out. And one more thing is, you want to create a JSON object, you just create a JSON looking string here with the username, phone, and address variables. And when it will, when it converts into toString, you will have this. And we can format something like a table, like if you want to format it. So these are the things which we can do. One more thing is a very nice feature here is that, let's suppose you want to create a JSON object from a string. So what will you do? You will use some libraries like Jackson, and you can use Jakarta JSON P libraries, and then for example I have used them, and I can read the JSON string, this JSON string, and I can format it to create the JSON object. So, but here the thing is that you are doing the same thing with the use of a older mechanism, and here there is no way to validate the data which is being sent to you. This username, phone, and address, it cannot be validated at all. It just you are reading the object and creating it. So if you want to really create it, validate it, and then only produce the JSON object, what you can do is you can use the string template processor interface and say that for a string template passed, you can internally do some extra business logic or any logic inside, put some logic inside it, and create a return a JSON object directly. So this has two important impacts. One is that you are encapsulating the creation of the JSON object internally with a new processor. So that processor can now implement different tech stack. It can implement JSON Jakarta libraries. It can implement Jackson. It can implement JSON. So you are giving user this JSON string template processor, which user can use to create JSON objects. And this can be abstracted or hidden from the user and how we are creating it. In the earlier one, the user is directly impacted or directly using the libraries. Here, if you create a processor which is passed a string template, and the string template is used to create the JSON object, what we can do now is with this JSON processor, we can just say JSON dot give the text block, and these are all referring to the variables, and you will directly get JSON object. So JSON object is the direct result of this simple code. Now this JSON string template processor can be used multiple times in the code, and we can create a JSON object out of it, and we can add more validations inside it. For example, you can before interpolating these values, for example, the username, phone, address, now you can have the flexibility to add validations. So you can say if the phone number is not 10 digits, so you can add this is a part of this string template custom declaration. So whenever you say JSON dot something, some text block or string, immediately you can create either a validated JSON object rather than creating a JSON object of whatever values these contain. So you can add business logic to this, and this will be hidden from the user. And yeah, so these are the things, and this is the record I was talking about. So I have created record and I've created a method as well. So I hope so. These are the two features which I plan to show you today. First was the sequenced collection, which is a very small update, but it is beneficial for people who are either using who are yet to create a project Java project from scratch, who really can use this to eliminate the usage of utilities or utility methods calls, and they can streamline their code with the JDK implementation of getting things from the first or the last indexes. And second thing is the string templates, which are a preview feature. Preview feature means it is not guaranteed that it will make it to the next release, like the JDK 22, 23, 24. So depending on the feedback, we may have first preview. This is the first preview. Then we can have second preview, third, fourth, and then finally, depending on all the review from the developer community and the value it is adding to the overall JDK community, JDK system, we can either integrate it to the next long-term release or long-term release, or it can be removed from it. So so that's why I wanted to have this session to make more and more developers and Java enthusiasts, Java advocates, or Java learners to be a part of this journey, give their feedback to the OpenJDK team, give their feedback by contributing or creating new projects and showcasing that the before versus after code. So before you used to do this, now you are able to do this with lesser number of code and more performance. performance. It can be either time wise or it can be your productivity wise as well. In the next live stream, I will discuss the hot feature, which is now currently being posted by many Java developers, uh, the unnamed classes and instance main method, which is again a preview feature. It means that there will be more previews before either it will be integrated with the next LTS, which will be I think 18, 19, 20, 21. So 21, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25. So JDK release 25, or it will be removed, scrapped. And the next one is virtual threads. So the virtual thread also is a major feature which will force people, or which will invite people to use JDK 21 as and choose it as their preferred version of Java. So these two will be taken up in the next live stream. I hope this live stream made a difference. And this was I planned it for 30 minutes, but it now I have almost spent 45 minutes. So I hope I was able to make some difference to your learning journey, and hope you continue to learn more and share more in using your own Scratch projects or projects which you have. Please comment on the my YouTube channel, Engineer Sunit, on this live stream, or the LinkedIn post or the LinkedIn event which we created, and let us know what are your reactions. And thank you for joining today. I sorry I did not check um, a lot of comments from Shiva, Minu. Yes, I read it now. So yeah, I was just presenting it. So I will not take much of your time. This is a working day. Thank you very much. Have a good day, good night, good evening. Bye bye.